Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to my Friday tarot chat. And today I thought we could have a bit of a conversation about some of the tools and practices that can really aid in reading the tarot. And I have been studying the tarot for a long time. I've taken lots of courses in psychic mediumship, intuitive development, and that sort of thing. And I wonder where everybody stands in that regard. Is the tarot simply a set of cards that we can look at the images and feel into the pictures and do a reading? Or is there something more that is going on? And there's a lot of different aspects to this question I would like to bring forward today. So I want to welcome all of you. If you are new to my channel, my name is Sadhana. I'm an intuitive reader and healer. I'm here most Fridays talking about tarot decks, and things like that. And I have been also teaching tarot for some time, and really sort of come at this from a few different approaches, from a completely intuitive side to a more in-depth study of the esoterics of tarot, and kind of all over the place. So I would like to bring my experiences to the table today and just sort of share with you where I am at with this. Welcome. Hi, Donna. Welcome. And Saskia, lovely to have you here. I was, there's always lots of videos that pop up on my YouTube feed. And from time to time, Biddy Tarot pops up. And she asked this question a couple of days ago. And that was, do you need to be psychic to read tarot? And I put that question into the chat and just had a look at several blogs that have the same title in the conversation. Do you need to be psychic to read the tarot? So I thought we could just sort of start by talking about what does it mean to be psychic? Because I think this is an important thing to wrap your head around, especially when you're doing this work. And wouldn't it be amazing if we could all be out of the tarot closet and talking about this freely? I think this is, it's a really important conversation to have, and also to have some vocabulary around it, especially when you're talking with friends, family, people who are, who might not be as comfortable in this medium as you are. Okay, welcome. Hello. I saw Pia's here. Hi, Pia and Sharon. Beautiful Friday here in Western Canada. Hope it is all doing well for you too. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Nice of you to be here. So one of my questions is this. Is psychic and intuitive synonymous? And I think this is an important question to ask. Yeah. Just let me copy that into the chat. Does it mean the same thing to be intuitive and to be psychic? And I think there's a lot of funny energy around the word psychic. It involves certain, hello, Hannah, welcome, costumes, crystal balls, neon lights. There's a lot of mystery, I would say madness as well, around the word psychic. I, as a reader, the store that I have mentioned many a times that I'm not reading at right now, but have for years, and actually read in quite a few different locations, where the sign out front said psychic reader, and always felt a little uncomfortable with that sign because of at least my perceived assumptions that go with that word. When I immediately look at the word psychic, I think psychic medium. So that means that the person who is doing the readings is able to channel other entities. And I think that needs to be cleared up right away. And so it's important that if you are working with a reader, that you have this sort of conversation, if you are comfortable with that. And I think mediumship also has a range of interpretations. So let me just start with that. I consider myself a medium, in that when I am doing a reading, I am an open vessel, and that I am in a place of trust, and I believe that everything that is moving through me, from the most unexpected words that fly out of my mouth. Of course, the wind is going to knock the blinds as I'm talking, to sensations in my body. It is even visions or little things that'll pop up off the cards at certain times. These messages, I truly believe, if I am an open channel, are moving through me. And so one of my intentions when I sit down to read is that I am an open vessel to deliver whatever message needs to come through at that time. And how I respond to the cards, that's a whole other thing. I want to put some of your comments up here. Donna says, I think many of these terms are interchangeable as used or not really understood very well. Yes, Jen's channel is a mouthful, but it's definitely worth it. And Jen is such a wonderful soul. If you've never been to her channel, please go and visit. I've known Jen for a long time. Jen says, I think there's a difference between the two. From a psychological perspective, neurodivergent brains are very intuitive based on the different levels of info taken in. There is, I believe, there are practices that can help you develop your brain in a way that it is more open and receptive to receiving information. I think Kalispera, oh my goodness, sorry, getting off here. This is one of the things I love about this group, is that there have been exchanges of language, little messages between different people in the group. And I just love that Hannah is welcoming Saskia in Greek. Saskia is in Corfu, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. Most folks pick up on subtle messages from all around them, but often miss them because they're distracted by life. Yes. Okay, so I want to offer something here, and that is, I believe that all of our intuitive information becomes more psychic the more we work it. Psychic abilities are practiced, are exercised intuition. So the more we exercise our intuition, the more we exercise those empathic sensations that come into the body, the more that we listen to them. It's like a muscle. The more we use it, the more naturally it just operates on its own. And when you are reading every single day, when you are listening very carefully to everything that is around you, this muscle becomes very, very strong. Donna, several years ago now, I received a body of channeled information on 27 different topics under the chakra piece, which covered 12 chakras. I was given that meditation. Meditation opens the 8th and 9th chakras, which is where messages, channeling, and intuition originates. Yes, practice is really important here. When I look at all of this through a yogic perspective, and I want to put up actually a definition that I found. I put some of them in the description box below. It's actually the Wikipedia one. The Wikipedia one that it's down below. And here, I'm just going to put the second half of it into the chat. This is the second half of the definition of psychic that's down below. A psychic is one who performs acts that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws, such as psychokinesis or teleportation. And when I read this, I smiled because this is a description of a very high level yogi. This is what happens when yogis purify their energy bodies. The more you purify your energy body, the more all of these siddhis, which is the word that describes these powers, siddhi, right, are developed. And if you've ever read Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, you'll know that there are a vast, vast range of gifts that can come the more that we purify our energy body. And so if you are interested in developing your psychic abilities, then all and any practices that help to purify your physical body, your mental body, your energy body, and so on, are going to change your frequency and change the way that you interact with the cards, change the way that you interact with life. All those who have psychic abilities have good intuition, but not all those who are very intuitive would be deemed psychic. Yes. And so there's something, what we do with these messages that can influence and change the way that we read cards. So I want to answer the question, the question that's on the title. What was the title? Do you need to be psychic to read tarot cards? That was the question, I believe. The answer is no. The answer is no. However, I believe that one becomes more comfortable reading tarot the more one begins to shift one's frequency. And all I mean by that is the clearer you are when you sit down to read, the more amazing your readings are going to be. Yes. Okay. So here is an example of a practice that connects breath, movement. There's a discipline with the physical body and the way that the physical body moves with breath carrying energy. And so when we learn to move with breath, everything can change. And it is, I would say, any of these slower mindful practices are going to help with that. So yeah, I guess D, right? It all comes back to breath. If you know how to breathe, everything is going to be amplified and shifted and improved. Yeah. So let's kind of take apart the I'll talk about my specific gifts and then I'll expand on all of that. Okay. Um, and some of the physical sensations and I share my physical sensations. If you listen to me on Tuesday, I will often share with you exactly what I'm feeling in my body. Actually, let's go back a couple of steps. So whether I'm sitting down to read live on YouTube on Tuesday, or I am preparing, so on Sunday, I'm going to an outdoor event and I'm going to be reading outdoors at a market. Whether it's something like that, or a client is coming to my home, or I'm doing readings on Zoom with somebody, it makes no difference. I must prepare myself. And sometimes that can be quite extensive. And the intention is always to get as clear as I can, to release anything that is in my energy body that I don't want to be carrying into my readings. And so if I can practice some yoga, if I can do some stretching, if I can go for a walk, where I don't have to tend to my dog and I can just be with nature, right? That's better, because tending to the dog and I don't know, that it's not peaceful at all. So if I can be somewhere where she is free and I don't need to worry about her, then that works. But I need to clear my energy body, and often connecting with nature is the best way. So in the mornings, I'm out in the back practicing yoga. The air is clean and clear, and it's cool usually in the mornings, and that really does help to raise frequency. If you are outdoors in the park practicing Tai Chi, I mean, that is amazing. Now, this reset can happen in a breath. I can decide in one breath cycle that I am clean and clear. And there is an intention that is set as I sit down to read. And some people ask, are you nervous? Are you nervous when you do this? When you do readings? And I think that over the years, the confidence has been built because I have seen the benefit of the preparation and the practices. So that also includes what might seem like silly little things, like this particular wrist mala I purchased at a Reiki training, and it was given Reiki by the master that did the training. I also have a clear quartz mala that it just feels clean and clear. And so if I'm needing that energy, then I will wear this particular mala. And often I will choose the malas that I wear based on how I'm feeling and what it is I need to bring through. So my preparation includes water, the sounds that are in the background, my physical body, and all of this. So that really, really helps with everything. Yeah, Dee says breath is the key, and then Hannah says breathing to sink into the own center and at the same time feeling an extended connection. Mm-hmm. You will also hear me speak to people and ask them to uncross their legs, to put their feet on the floor, to take a full breath in and a full breath out. I believe that I'm creating a connection with you when I'm reading for you. And I want you to honor the process as much as I honor the process. And I think that's also key here, is that the nervousness is dissipated, the openness to the experience is enhanced because I trust in the process. And if I can get you to trust in the process and you to connect with your physical body, to connect with your breath, then the whole experience is going to be heightened. Yeah. I have felt sensations in my body my whole life. Always. I've been clairvoyant my whole life as well. Different times it has been more three-dimensional than other times. And the feelings, the clairsentience, so the sensations that I feel in my body, I have learned to trust. So one of the things I do when I am preparing to read in the morning, whether I'm going out for a walk or I'm doing a little bit of yoga, I am listening to what's happening in my body, and I am aware of my own stuff, what's going on, so that when sensations come through, it's very clear that it's yours, it's not mine, it's spirit that's moving through. And so sometimes I'll be doing a reading, and often I'll feel like my throat is closing up. And I'll know that you are, well, there's a few things that may arise, but I trust these sensations and that they need to be addressed. It's really beautiful how that has come through. And I did do quite a bit of, I listened to Carolyn Myss. I read her books. This is many years ago. I was really interested in medical intuition, medical intuitives, and I did quite a bit of reading with them. And I think that's one of the reasons that Reiki really interested me, because I was really curious about the sensations that I felt in my body and how I could share that with people. It's alarming. It's uncomfortable for some people, so I have to manage it carefully. And I am confident. I am confident in what comes through, but it's practice, right? It's years of practice of learning to listen to these sensations. So I would call myself clairsentient. And as far as clairvoyance goes, that is something that comes, it happens behind the closed eyes. It happens with my open three-dimensional eyes. And often that is in the form of auras. I've taken a couple of seminars of hers, and she pronounced it mace. Okay, good to know. I don't know why. Okay, thank you for that, Donna. Thank you for that. Where was I? Sensations. Auras. Auras and orbs and colors and just energy moving around. That's another thing that, sometimes people can, it's important who you share this with. And if you start to have these sorts of experience where you are seeing orbs and seeing auras, whether it is the aura of a tree or energy floating around a person near you, your grounding is really important at that time. Like when these things start to amplify, I just make sure that I can feel my feet on the ground, and I'm checking in through the through the experience. Things will also float up off the cards. Like I'll start to see the cards, like holograms and things like that as well too. Yeah. All right. So what else? Now, I know on this channel we've talked a little bit about clairalience, and I know some of you are very gifted in that way, and I have. So clairalience is the gift of. So it's like when you smell something. When you smell something, and you know that nobody is smoking a cigar anywhere around, but you smell that familiar cigar smoke that your father used to smoke in the basement in his workshop. That's sometimes I know when my father is around because I smell his cigars. I think sometimes clairalience can really help in comfort, and that can be used that can be used well. We have more people who practice Tai Chi. Dee has practiced Tai Chi as well too. I can see you're chatting about Carolyn Mace, and I think she has some wonderful, wonderful teachings. If you don't know who she is, her last name is spelled Myss. Her books are amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we all have these different gifts, and I would suggest that if you have and when you experience any of these phenomena, that you respect them and exercise them. You work with them and you thank them. Gratitude is a huge way of amplifying all of this. So let's go back to the question about reading tarot. Reading tarot is a study, and we all come at it from different angles. Some people come at it from purely the aesthetics, the beauty of the artwork, and they come in through a particular painter or a different artist that just brings something off the page that they connect with. Other people come in, through the ABCs. They have learned the tarot card by card. And I think it's funny when people say, I'm certified in tarot. Well, I offer tarot certification as well, too, but in a sense that if people want a certificate that says they have studied for so many hours, then, and some people need that for insurance or other things, and then I offer that as well, too. But I honestly feel like tarot is a lifelong study. It's a study of color. It's a study of energy. It's a study of alchemy and so many, many other topics. Hi, Aisha. Welcome to the conversation. And so in reading tarot, because color is energy, because the elements are energy, because the human experience is part of the collective consciousness, because the archetypes are all a part of the unseen, it only makes sense that the more connected one is to energy, the more that's going to come through in a reading. And Aisha was one. Okay, so thanks for sharing that she got pulled in because of the beauty of the cards, right? I got pulled in How did I get pulled in? I got pulled in from a need to crystallize what I was experiencing. And I think this is a good segue to this conversation. And that is what the cards have done for me is to bring all that I'm sensing and feeling and experiencing into a pictorial form. So when I say the tarot crystallizes, the tarot confirms everything. So I can find myself doing a reading and listening to the messages, the sensations that are coming through. And honestly, many times I feel like I don't even need to put cards on the table, but I put cards on the table for the querent. So the querent has something tangible to connect with. And some people might say that, I'm proving myself, proving what I'm reading with the cards. Right? And now my scalp is going, like this. It's so tingly. So what I'm saying here is that I think one of the greatest gifts of tarot is that it helps confirm your intuition. Hi, Laura. Welcome. So you might, that, and I'm sure you've all had these experiences where you have this feeling, you have this sensation, and it's not something that you can ask just anybody. And so you turn to the tarot, and the tarot will either shine it right back in your face, or the tarot will tell the story in a way that it's like, okay, now I see what this is all about. The subtle energies become solid. Right? The subtle energies become solid. And I also believe that the solidity of the paper and the pictures and the artwork can become subtle. I think it works both ways. There is an ancient symbolic language that has evolved through centuries and centuries and is contained within the tarot. And you all know, you all read cards. We've talked about this in certain decks, and I know Donna's asked me this question: do you think this creator intended that? And the answer is, I don't know, but this came through in the artwork. And somehow when they are painting, it's almost like something mysteriously comes through and all the colors get lined up in a certain way, and I see something, but it's not written about. Hi there, S. Welcome. Okay. All right. I remember when you did a reading for my cat once, and you said something was wrong with her paw. There was, by the way. You didn't need no cards to tell. And this, it's about trust. It's about trust. And so let's go through a few steps that are really important to develop all of this. And if you are feeling doubtful or skeptical, it's probably not a good time to pick up your cards. But let's say you're holding the cards in your hand, and you can create an affirmation of some sort that says, and I love this purple on here, it's so beautiful. I'm not one for metallic edging, but this purple is just so special with the orange. I affirm that the messages, Amber's talking to me, I affirm that the messages coming through are exactly what I need to hear on this day. I trust in this process. The spoken word is really important. And yes, you can say this in your mind. You could also just simply hold your cards and say thank you and feel the energy of gratitude. But I think some sort of an affirmation and putting your feet on the floor and allowing yourself to be in the experience really helps. It helps a lot. It's important to land into your reading. So to take a moment before you shuffle, close your eyes, take a breath in, take a breath out. I trust in this process. And then I would say also to, when you affirm and you take that breath to listen to how you feel, that's really, really important. Now, I also say that this is important to practice away from the tarot table as well, too. Maybe you're going to an important meeting and you take a moment in the ladies' room or your car before you go into the meeting, and you take a breath in and you take a breath out, and you say something to yourself. I trust that I will say exactly, that my words will be delivered exactly as they are needed to be heard at this time. Trust. Trust. It's very, very important. Trust is the highest frequency of the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is our will and our drive. And if we can find this harmony between our doing and our being, everything will be so, so much easier. Okay. Connecting with your cards is also really important. So liking your cards. So what I'm saying with this particular deck, I never knew that this deck was, I almost didn't buy this deck because I had two of Kelly Burton's other decks. I thought, I don't need it. I don't need another Waite-Smith clone. But this deck feels very special in my hands. It's the colors. I love the way it shuffles. The metallic edges don't hurt my hands. Hi, Anne. Welcome. So if you are building confidence in reading, I would say it's really important that the deck that is in your hand feels comfortable, that you like it. You don't dislike the pictures or the images in any way, or you're not afraid of a certain card or anything like that. There's got to be some level of comfort with shuffling, comfort with the process. Yeah. Then just practice. Practice single card readings, practice 3 card readings, practice every shape of reading that you can think of. And then the studying component also really, really helps. It really helps. And it opens up a whole other world. And what I mean by that is it allows, the more you learn, the more layers that can come through. And you might pick up on things intuitively, but they are confirmed through your wisdom, through your knowledge. So for example, I'm going to do a reading today for the full moon, by the way. But I just want to share something with all of you. This particular spread that I'm going to lay down, the intention here is that the insights that come through from the teaching of the layers will bring something really special to this moment. Okay. I'm going to use the transparent tarot for the reading, but let's just do this. Okay. So most of you are aware of a Celtic cross spread. And one of the things that can happen with a Celtic cross spread, so, okay. I'm going to move the camera. Celtic cross is not. We'll just do the center. So this is the main card, the main point, the number 1 card. I'm not using a significator. This card crosses it. It is the second card. The number 1 card could reflect the mental clarity of the magician. There could be a message from the magician. The second card, 2, High Priestess, could carry a secret or some deeply buried information. In a basic Celtic cross, this is the main theme. This is what crosses it. It can support or challenge. But what if we look at this as the message from the magician, the message from the High Priestess? We go below, and if we lay this out, 1, 2, 3, then all of a sudden, what is below, we can look at as a message from Mother, a message from by Aisha, a message from the Divine Mother, the energy of creativity, fertility, all that we have created. And we can start to build in a multitude of layers. We go around the wheel, and if we've got 1, 2, 3, then we build in the energy of the Emperor. And then all of a sudden we have this developing relationship here of 3 to 4. What is behind us is our foundation and our strength. It is the roots that we come from, things that we have built. Perhaps there is a paternal message here as well too. So in the Celtic cross, we have this possibility of developing things that we have studied. Now, of course, if you are familiar with numerology, you can also build in that layer. So why I'm sharing this with you is because I think the study, the wisdom of the Celtic cross as a spread has a lot of untapped layers. And when we when we work with the tarot and we simply say that, let's just going to move this over. We do a reading and we put 3 cards on the table, and maybe we're using a very specific spread that says, I don't know, this is A, so this is, maybe this is the querent and this is the partner, and in this spread, this is the issue that is between them, or this is what is connecting them. And then you go to read the cards and you see something completely different. You feel a complete message from the cards. What you bring to the reading with intention from spread, what you have learned in your studies, what you see intuitively as the reading appears, all of this comes together equally. All of this comes together in like a web of information. And the difference between an experienced reader and a novice reader is that the experienced reader isn't going to get stuck in the meaning of the position if you're working with a spread. They're going to be okay with a particular card meaning more than one thing and then being able to weave it all together. Yeah, so it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. And I suggest that the more you practice, the more you tune into nature, the more you take care of yourself, the better all of this will be. Yeah. Do you have to be psychic to read the tarot? No. But you will become a better reader the more comfortable you are with connections to spirit. You'll become a much better reader. All right. Now we have a full moon next week. And I've been spending quite a bit of time thinking about a spread that, or an intention for a spread that came to mind some time ago. I wanted to use the transparent tarot. And so I'm going to do a reading for the collective. And I want to offer this spread. And you don't have to do this with transparent tarot, but I really want to do it with the transparent tarot. Okay. And this is a full moon reading. And my intention for this spread is that the energy of the full moon is illuminated by the full sun. This spread is an acknowledgement of the solar energy shining on the lunar energy. I want to honor the support of the solar energy in reflecting the lunar energy. In the past, when I've done full moon spreads, I'm simply focusing on the lunar energy. But I don't want to forget the sun behind the moon. Okay. This is a 6-card reading. You can go ahead and shuffle a deck. And the first 3 cards Oh, sorry. Sorry. I didn't see Laura's comment. Could you please highlight or tag me and let me know what you would like me to respond to? Out of control healer. Donna, can you help? I'm not quite sure what I am to respond to. I'm going to go ahead and describe the spread, and then I will come back to your question after, okay? This is a 6-card full moon spread. The first 3 cards represent the solar energy. The full moon on August 1st. In Aquarius. So the Leo energy shining through the Aquarius energy. This is a particularly powerful full moon for me. Okay, so I'm going to... Interesting. All right, I'm going to do something totally random. Okay, I'm going to do something very random here. First order of operations is cutting of the cards into 4 piles. And you cut the cards from left to right. Here, let me show you. Hard to do. I'm at a funny angle here. No, you can't see that. I'm all zoomed in for the reading. Oh, tech. I'm going to describe it, okay? So you cut the cards from right to left. So I'm going to cut the cards. You know what? I'm going to take the time to do this because it's important. I'm going to change the camera again, and then I will set it up for the reading. All right. All right. Where are we here? Zoom out. This is my left hand. I'm going to cut the cards from right to left, and I'm going to take about half the pile and I'm going to leave a space. Then I'm going to go back to the first pile and cut the cards from here to here. And then this pile, I'm going to cut it again and I'm going to go from right to left. This is a very old esoteric practice that has to do with the way that Hebrew is read. This has to do with the tetragrammaton, and these piles represent wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. This is something that I teach in different classes that I do. So this first pile represents fire, wands. I'm going to keep this pile, I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to use this pile for my sun component. And this pile represents water, and I'm going to use this second pile for the lunar component, and I'm going to put the other 2 piles away. So I'm going to just get rid of the other 2 piles. So this is sun, this is moon. Okay. All right. Now, hopefully we can get this. Thank you for your patience. And, I'm always trying to find a way to get the very most out of every single reading. Now, this is my solar pile, my wands pile, and I'm going to cut this again in half. And I'm going to draw 3 cards. 3 cards for the solar energy. And here I have, these are upside down. These are upside down. So I have Phoenix energy, world energy, and lover's energy. So I have pulled 3 major arcana representing the energy of Leo. The solar energy. Wow. So we have 20, 21, and 6. So what the sun is shining through in this full moon is very powerful. It is the potential for transformation. This full moon, I feel like the solar energy is it's not going to let this full moon slip away. It wants us to it's not just a kick in the pants. It wants us to pay attention. There is an opportunity for a deep unfolding here. All right, so now I'm going to take the cards from the moon pile, the cup pile, and I'm going to cut them and then put these on top. So I have 9 of Pentacles. And 5 of Wands, and Knight of Wands. So the lunar cards are all minors. The solar cards are all majors, which is really interesting. The 5 of Wands is forward facing. It looks very direct, like it's taking action on. I've been talking a lot about portals. This tarot deck is the Transparent Tarot by Emily Carding. And that world card to me looks as like it is well, all of these cards actually look like they are opening up something quite phenomenal here. The 5 of Wands, which is a Leo card, which is first decan of Leo, also feels highly significant here. And when I think of 5 of Fire, what I was saying earlier about there's no not doing this. This is not, this full moon wants you to act. It wants you to do something about this. And so interesting how the Knight of Wands is kneeling down to all of this. Through this action, through this, through the courage of accepting this transformation, through the courage and action of being in this change of life, you will, there's something quite extraordinary here in that this Nine of Pentacles is rising up in the same way that the Phoenix is rising up. It's almost as if Spirit says, if you do the work, I will guide you through. And while I place the cards down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm really compelled to read the reading this way. This is a heartfelt message that confirms the work you are doing and the need to be in it, and to not give up, to know that this transformation, this portal, this change it's here and it's now and it's open for you. Bye, Hannah. All right, now let's put all of these together. And I'll see if I can zoom in. No, I'm going to hold them up. And I want you to look at the whole message like you were looking at the full moon. And what do you see when you look at the whole message? It's really amazing. The heart in the Phoenix. Feel the energy of this. Donna says, the phoenix rising above the strife and the trouble of the world. And you may be feeling that personally, but also depending on I know a lot of people are suffering empathically with world situations as well too. And I think it is an invitation to marry our energy of, and to learn and to understand the reflection of the global situation and the personal. It is your responsibility to stand, to act, and to honor this path that you are on. You will know the transformation, and you will move through in I think in greater ways than you ever imagined, this is all coming together for you. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Now, I said I would go back, and I want to go back to Laura. Okay. Mm. The So first of all, if a client comes in and I can smell alcohol, or I can smell marijuana, or I'm aware that they are not present, then often what I have done is I just go outside and sit on a bench. I talk to them. I don't do a reading. I take them out into the fresh air, and I do my best to connect with them, to get them to breathe, to just listen, and to be with them. I make space. It is of no service to anyone doing a reading for someone who is not present. And so I know this is not directly answering your question, but I think it's important to show those who are in pain how to make space. My role as a healer, my role as a spiritual coach, is to give people tools and really simple steps to make space in their life, to find glimpses of fresh air. And to acknowledge them, and to say them, to just to find little moments of this. So Laura, when I'm working with people who are deeply suffering, I do my best to shift the frequency, to change the frequency. This is one of the reasons I practice yoga nidra with almost all of my clients, and that is to give them a tool to be in a different frequency. And you said here that you forget to ground, and everyone's energy gets absorbed in my body, and I get very sick migraines. I want to play the devil's advocate here. And I want to say, that is your choice. That is your choice to absorb their energy. You don't have to absorb their energy. I work 6 or 7 days a week as an energy healer, and I don't absorb people's energy because I am strong and I am confident and I trust in spirit. I am a medium for spirit. I don't I have no interest in absorbing people's energy. So this is, this is, Laura, this is about the process of preparation. So the stronger you are physically, the more preparation you do before you sit down with people who are in trauma, the clearer you are about what service it is that you are offering, the less that this happens. So I know I listen to people all the time talk about, I've absorbed this and I've absorbed that. And it's because I don't know, it's about getting strong. It's about getting strong. And the higher your frequency is, the harder it is for these low energies to penetrate you. So you just keep on working on raising your frequency. So Laura, it's very blunt. So you are mirroring their victimization. So when you say that, you sound like a victim. So don't be a victim. Get strong. We can all do this, right? So it's a commitment. It's a commitment to you and your energy and your spirit that you will be in the process of raising your frequency. And I'm not going to say that it never happens. Hi, Warrior Girl, welcome. I'm not going to say that it never happens to me. But I can't remember the last time. Yeah. So something like this. I am a radiant being. And if you think of your energy moving outward, I remember one time Sylvia Brown gave this meditation where she said something to the effect of, imagine yourself surrounded by mirrors and the mirrors are all facing out. Well, if you are a radiant being, your energy is moving out. And the energy is so strong that there's very little space for things to move in. So I hope that helps. Yeah. Commit to your spiritual practices. Yeah. And I would say do one thing every week to learn a little bit more about the tarot, because that certainly helps as well too. Okay. All right. Well, I wish you could all pop by the market on Sunday. I had a wonderful time last year. It's out in nature. It's at a cidery, and it's sort of like my table will be in the middle of an orchard. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, Laura, I used to do this too. In the meantime, until you raise your frequency, visualize yourself in a ball of protective white light when encountering low vibe people. Yes, conscious effort needed. Conscious effort. All right. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for that. Yeah. Have a brilliant weekend. And I will be doing full moon readings on Tuesday. And blessings for Lamas, for Lugnasad. And as you prepare for the full moon, fill your heart with love and gratitude, and remember that the sun is shining brightly through her luminescence as well too. Namaste.